So just for those of you who might be confused, I am Brad Argent and you are?
Chloe Fineman.
So thank you all for coming today. Now, I just want to say right at the top, we were going to do a little thing with a little dog. Mm-hmm. But the DNA is still in the lab. But fear not, because we have some great stories to tell. If you're going to do family history, the thing you do is you start with yourself.
Oh.
And you work backwards, right? So you start with what you know. Now, I happened to catch you on Fallon.
Oh, last week.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Talking about how you like to, when you were a kid, dress up as an adult.
AK shop, yeah.
Yeah. So what I did is I took a look at the yearbooks for when you were in high school.
Oh, no. No!
So
I had braces, if you can't tell. I'm trying to cover that.
So I found this, and I kind of thought, yeah, that's interesting. But then I found that.
Oh, yes.
What's going on here?
You know, what is going on there? People that year, that's what, 2005 was when girls discovered glasses without a prescription. And I popped the lenses, and I guess I wanted to be funny.
Well, I think it's coming across.
I got in a lot of trouble. I remember like fighting for my life. I was like a really punky teenager and was like, "Let me make a face."
You know, when we're doing the family history, I did spend a bit of time in the yearbooks, pulling out some photos of your family from the yearbooks because they were a great resource, right? But what I wanted to try and do is
You Googled? How do you find?
No. Because, like, you know, I work for Ancestry, right?
How
And we
cool.
have these whole bunch of yearbooks, and they're fantastic to browse. But you're able to search them. So I found these.
Wow.
But I also found a few other things. But what I was trying to do as I'm doing a family history, and I think a lot of us, anybody who's done any family history will kind of get the sense of this, is we look for ourselves in our ancestors. So I tried to, okay, where is your creativity coming from? But also, where is your performance coming from? Because you're clearly very comfortable up on stage. You're clearly very present in a room. So I wanted to get a sense of how are we getting there? So let's start with this person.
That's my hot mom, everybody.
Now that, I mean, it's a beautiful photo.
My Jackie Kennedy mom.
And what people might not know is that your mum, Ellen, is actually quite an accomplished artist. And this is just one of the artworks that I found. I kind of got a little bit of a sweet spot for her, I have to admit.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful photo of your mum, and I think it's this beautiful whimsy in this, because your mum does watercolors, doesn't she?
Yeah, that is her silk era. I don't know if that's a thing. But that's silk that then you put wax on top and then like dye it individually. I have one, but it's like super fragile and super beautiful. Diptyque? No, that's a candle. But yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely artistic inspiration from your mum. But where did she get it from?
That's my grandfather.
That's your grandfather. Now,
Yeah.
I love this photo.
Yes.
I'm getting madman vibes.
He was a madman.
Well, this is the thing.
That's literally what he was. He helped design the Nestle logo, brand people, huh? The McDonald's French fry box, and he lived in New Jersey and would like take the train, drink a scotch and smoke a cigarette and come back. Don Draper.
He is, I was really surprised by this because I did not know about this connection that you have clearly to the advertising industry because he was an art director. But he wasn't just any art director. He was an art director for Egmont Arons. Now, anybody who's spent any time in industrial design will tell you this person is an icon of design in the 1950s. Egmont himself redesigned the KitchenAid mixer that's probably sitting in most people's kitchens. Maybe not used, but at least it's there. And so he was working for that man when he set up that company, straight out of school.
Parsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like just down the road. So you're getting all this creativity from your mum's side.
Right. He was a Marine? No.
He was a aviation mechanic, the Navy, and he was in the Caribbean or the Caribbean, depending on where you're
My
from.
favorite place.
Yeah, so he had clearly this passion that did not go away, and the war did not take it away from him. He came back and he had a long and very prosperous career in graphic design at a time when it meant the way in which we engage with products and the way products speak to us in terms of how they are packaged and how the art of consumerism is now was all formed back then.
Interesting.
So there's a reason we're here at Advertising Week, because he played a part in that.
Because of Granddaddy Gunn. Am I related to Tim Gunn of Project Runway? That's really all I want to know.
Oh, well, I don't know that yet.
Yet, okay.
But it's not just one side of the family. So do you know who this is?
That's my grandmother.
Now, I think you look like her.
I disagree, but they. No, I do.
So this is Jeanette. Well, she looks happy.
Yeah. This is a bad thing to say. My dad always said that my grandma looked like him in drag, which is a bad thing, but it's like deeply accurate. So I think I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain.
Well, I just thought this is somebody who seems to have, just in that photo alone, again, this is a yearbook photo, right?
Yeah.
It's captured this energy.
She was very funny.
But not only was she very funny, she was incredibly talented.
As an artist.
And she was still sculpting right up to her 90s.
Yep.
So you clearly had a relationship with her.
Yeah, we were very close.
Yeah, unlike Bill, who died
before I was
you were born.
Yeah, she was my grandpa, in a way, a little bit.
But you're getting this creativity from both sides of the family.
Yeah.
It's clearly coming out.
Yeah, she was very feminine. She was always like, because she was born in
1919.
She lived to be like 95 or something.
Yeah.
But we'd always ask, like, you live such a life, like, what, you've seen so much happen, what was the coolest thing in all of your years? And then she'd always be like, the birth control pill, because it gave women their freedom. And
Well, because it did.
yeah, she's a real sex-positive divorcee.
Yeah. And then she got married and she had a family. But she went back to university and she got her master's in fine arts
Yes.
in the 70s.
Yeah, which was rare to go back to college.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she was kind of a little bit of a trailblazer.
She was. I really want to tell another horrible thing my dad says, but they got married. My dad's dad went off to the war. Everyone was going to the war back then, and then he came back with syphilis, so they got a divorce. But my dad always says his father was a whorehouse inspector. Anyway, I had to say it. All right.
Well, I can tell you.
You said not to censor yourself.
Well, no. We found no evidence to support that, but we weren't.
Oh, okay, but you were going to leave it. Okay, good.
Weirdly, we weren't looking for that evidence either, right? So let's have a look at your family tree.
Oh.
So we spent a little bit of time, not a massive amount of time, we spent a little bit of time diving in and seeing what we could find.
Whoa.
Relatively
Solomon.
quickly.
I love how it's like wasp, Jewish.
Yes. Yes, it is. This is where we've found your family coming from.
Belarus.
Belarus, yeah. So at the time, particularly for a lot of Jewish people who were emigrating to America, you were either Russian, Prussian, if you wanted to get a little bit fancy, or German. But of course, now those places are called very different things.
Right.
And it's really difficult if you're doing family history, to work out exactly where they're from, because when you look in the records, it just says Russia. But there were other things on that tree, and you probably didn't notice them, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Then those two I've highlighted.
Mendel, Sharon, Rev, Ashby, Fritz. Oh no. Is there incest in my family?
No. But why do you go there? Why is that where you go?
When I was a kid, I really wanted to marry my cousins, and we had to have like it was a big discussion.
So, of course, Mendel Sharon is Rabbi Mendel Sharon.
Oh.
So did you know you had like a rabbi in the family?
No.
Well, yeah, no, you do.
Mendel. I'm honestly just looking at this kids' names.
Well, yeah,
Mendel.
yeah.
Maybe, Orfella. Oh, I know about Orfella. Isn't that, I might name my kid Orfella and just ruin her life. But, then, so then was Ashby a preacher?
Yeah.
He was?
And I love this. It's a wonderful name. It's Ashby Jackson Fristow. And he, in the census in I think it was 1920, he listed himself down as an evangelist. He was a Baptist minister.
Whoa.
And so here is, on again, both sides of the family, you have people, you have ancestors who were quite happy to be out front, be presenting themselves, and being very vulnerable, which is what makes comedy work,
Right.
is your vulnerability.
Right.
It's exactly the same for anybody who's getting up there and preaching about something that they believe in. There has to be that vulnerability in order for them to connect with an audience. But I was actually able to find a picture of Ashby,
Oh, really?
and that's him with his
Wow.
family.
Which one's Ashby?
He's the man in the suit holding the baby,
Oh, wow.
and they're obviously his children and his grandchildren and potentially his great-grandchildren. Now this is, I'm going to guess and say this is probably late 20s, early 30s.
Wow.
Right, so maybe 100 years ago. And this is just one family on that big tree. And there's all these other families, and they all had children, and their children had children. And so you have a bunch of cousins on your mum's side that you just haven't met yet.
Right. I was saying I met one, and it was when Obama got elected, and this was in Mississippi, and she was like,
My thing about Obama is he's trying to say that we're citizens of the United States. And I'm like, Mr. Obama, we're Americans.
and then I was like, I don't think we're gonna have a relationship. Anyway. I kind of sounded like Reese Witherspoon, but so did she. Maybe that's why I can do Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, fun times, fun times.
So whilst we've been sitting here, my phone has been making movement in my pocket, and it's been quite distracting.
Oh.
Because I was only waiting on one thing today.
Uh-huh.
And that was Peach's DNA results. Ooh.
You have them?
Yeah.
Ah! My dog is satanic, so I'm dying to find out if he's actually a fox.
Oh, okay.
Or it costs so much money. I'm bad. I bought a dog that he's like pure, which I don't know if you can say about dogs. Like pure Shiba. He's a Shiba Inu, I think.
So yeah, you've done a human DNA test, right? So you know what it does, right? It'll tell you where you've come from in the world. It'll tell you how you're connected to other people. And, increasingly, they will tell you things like traits, or if you like, behaviors. And when you DNA test a dog, you get the same things. You get a sense of the dog's
Moody.
ethnicity, so breed,
Okay.
if you like. You get a sense of its cousins, how many other dogs has it got connected to. And you get a sense of behaviors.
Oh, God. My dog, by the way, twice this week, the dog walker has texted me saying, Peach does not want to leave the couch. He growled at me when I approached. I came back twice. Peach will not leave the house, does not like me today. So I've yeah, he's very moody.
So I'm going to go through some of Peach's.
I wish he was here and just like, meow.
You can tell me whether or not these are accurate.
Okay.
Because this is just based on getting a. Did you take Peach's DNA?
It was no one in my family wanted to do it because he's a bitch. But the whole time he was like, but I did it, and clearly I got
Oh,
enough.
yeah. It
so-
worked.
Yeah, and he didn't bite me.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. This for all dogs, this is a great test. For my dog, it was a comedy of errors, but we did it.
Separation anxiety. So does he have this behavioral trait of separation anxiety?
He's kind of like a boy of a dog. So I'd say he's like, bye.
He's very relaxed.
Yeah.
According to his DNA, he should be quite relaxed.
Yeah, couldn't care if I come or go.
Social anxiety.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well that's what the DNA says. Is 100% like yes. He has social anxiety.
And he's like,
Oh, fear of loud noises?
yes.
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 The DNA says he has fear of
Yes.
loud noises.
Yeah. But
It's nice
trash, yeah, anything walking by the window.
It's good to know this works.
This is, very accurate.
Oh, and he's possessive.
Deeply possessive.
And this is kind of like,
But it said that?
yeah.
He thinks I'm his girlfriend, is what I've decided. I'm like in love with my dog. No, but like he's possessive of me and like guards. He's like my bodyguard.
So I'm surprised that the results were as accurate as they were.
True. He is a guard. This is a cute story. He was like by our front gate at my parents' house all summer, and I thought he was like guarding the home. But then I later found out every day the woman from the post office would come and give him a little treat, and so he was just waiting for food all day. Isn't that so cute? Anyway.
So the big question,
Is he pure?
100%.
Shiba Inu? Yes.
Yeah, like when those of you
Not
that
even like 5% Basenji?
no,
Okay.
purebred all the way. So, I mean, is that a relief?
Well, I did a bad thing where you can go on like AmericanKennel.com and then look for like the show dog lineage. Like I just was like, if I'm gonna buy it, I want the best. And he has like the worst personality, but God, is he gorgeous?
He is a very handsome dog. And I can see that we are at time. So we do need to wrap. But thank you very much, Chloe, for opening yourself up to family history. And Peach, wherever you are, thank you so much for giving us your DNA. We'll make sure that Peach gets a couple of extra doggy treats.
Yay.
But please join me in thanking Chloe for her time on stage.
Thank you.